So the world is getting pretty insane with the wars and colonization, but let's take a moment to look at the ledger and see actually who is the most powerful. And just a reminder, we have, I think, the most amount of wars that have broken out so far in the campaign going on currently in this world. We've got the Venetian conquest of Pisa. So again, Venice is trying to eliminate Rome. We'll see if they can do that. I think they will. Venice and Spain. Portugal on Rome's side. That is going to hurt Portugal significantly. But we'll have to actually go deeper into Iberia to see if Spain is even contributing much to the Iberian War. We saw previously Spain be dominated by Portugal. Portugal really manhandled them. So we'll see if that happens again. I think Portugal might be safe. Maybe at the end of the last video, I thought it'd be more interesting, but they're just focusing in on Rome, I think. We have Persia again going after Babylon with the Babylonian alliance of Egypt, who cannot arrive towards the Persian lands. And the Ottomans. I thought this was, for some reason, I thought this was Arabia. And the Ottomans, that they don't have very many regiments, so Persia might again dominate the Babylonians. We have the English versus the Celts again, but luckily the Celts have escaped to, looks like Nova Scotia or Newfoundland, one of those two. And so the Celts are going to be pretty safe, and they're going to be playing a pretty big role in the New World with America and the Iroquois, who haven't really done much in terms of wars. Then we have the Netherlands versus France. Is that an old war? That might still be going on. And then Korea and China, that war is still going on, and we're going to see the results of how much China takes. China's at 87 war score with Korea, so that is really, really scary. In terms of development, let's go ahead and check on that. We've got 663 development by Venice. So yes, Venice technically would be winning the campaign right now, I would say. And that makes the most sense. They're definitely dominating the Venetian trade node as well as the Italian peninsula. But France, not too far behind, about 100 points behind. Then we have India. Ooh, India. It kind of came out of nowhere. Byzantium, Russia. China is actually a lot lower on the list than I initially thought. But they'll be catching up as well as soon as they take away whatever they take away from the Koreans. Then we have Portugal, Austria, Spain, and Poland. Now, here, let's actually look at the fun stuff. Let's look at navy sizes, which is really important. Well, first of all, force limit, and then the army sizes as of now. So the Venetians can make the biggest army right now with 89,000 troops, 89 regiments, 89,000 men. They only have 62,000 right now because they lost some to war. They don't have much manpower. Ooh, keep in mind that England is at 0 manpower too. That's not good, but they're safe on the British Isles, so they'll be okay. Denmark not so safe though, with 89 men in their manpower reserves. That's not good. India being a lot more powerful than I planned, with 51,000. They just are isolated, so they don't have to get into any wars, but if they were to, they'd be able to really dominate. France has been involved in a few wars, so that's why we'll see their army size as of now pretty low, but force limit wise, they're not bad at all. Byzantium, kind of the same story, but both those nations they're going to have to fight. They're going to have to continue to fight. So I think we're going to see a common occurrence where we see their force limit very high, but their actual total army size will be pretty low. Russia, pretty powerful. China, also pretty powerful. We might end up seeing a really big Russian-Chinese war, which would be really cool. Okay, so let's check on navies. This is important, and I'm just going to check on total navy sizes right now. Okay, the Venetians are absolutely dominating this with 108 ships. Then we have Byzantium at 65. They need a lot more. I don't even know. I mean, the Venetians must be making a lot of money because they're way over their force limit. This is costing them a lot, but I'm sure they are making a lot of money. Then we have Portugal at 57, not too far behind Byzantium. So if Byzantium and Portugal work together, they might be able to take down the Venetians. The problem is that Portugal's got their hands in the New World, so more than likely a lot of their ships are out there in the Atlantic. Japan, also, no big surprise, dominating, which will keep them safe from the Chinese. So we will see Japan, I think, survive without the Chinese going into their mainland. Anyways, let's go ahead and first view Eastern Asia. I really want to see exactly what the Chinese decide to take from the Koreans. They might take a lot. They probably will, I imagine. Let's see what's going on here. Well, the Koreans are starting to push back. Oh, no, the Chinese still have like a 35 stack. There you go. But the Japanese, for the most part, almost have complete control over their mainland. Then they'll probably be able to colonize wherever they want. We haven't checked in on Polynesia in a while, so they're just continuing after Australia. There you go. Indonesia also off to a pretty slow start, which is necessary. I actually don't suggest, this is probably very bad of them, to get onto continental Asia, because Siam is going to be a force to be dealing with. And Indonesia will be fractured. They'll be all over the place because they're going to be colonizing different islands. Different islands are going to have different regiments, whereas Siam is consolidated. They're just one empire. So they have all their troops nearby. They don't have to worry about gathering up all their armies off the islands and stuff like that, which will be a big problem. So India might also be a pretty big threat to China whenever China gets over this way. Okay, so Korea is still alive. They're okay. They didn't lose that much. Korea's going to be fine. They just need to continue to colonize fast. The problem is that right now there's no one really to help Mongolia or Korea. They just need to survive for as long as they can. Wait till Siam and India start to become kind of play bigger roles, I guess you could say, in Eastern Asia. So as I thought, Persia's having success again against Babylon, the Ottomans, and Egypt. And that is because Egypt just simply cannot get over this way. So we're going to see probably Babylon banished to the Arabian Peninsula, more than likely. I'm guessing. Byzantium is just that. Oh, so what happened? Is this war over? I meant to check in on Iberia to see exactly what was going on here. Oh yeah, Spain is dominating. You know why? Because Venice quickly destroyed Rome and pushed them off to just Sardinia, which Rome does have an occupation themselves. Then Venice sent their entire troops over towards Portugal, moved through Spanish lands and over towards the Portuguese. So and all this land is being given up to Spain. That's very nice of the Venetians. So we might see Portugal in more of a traditional location of where we're used to seeing Portugal, which is fine for them. I mean, they're still colonizing everywhere, so they're okay. They can do much, just like the Celts. Like even if they get kicked out of the British Isles, which for the most part they almost have, they'll be able to colonize. So yeah, they'll be okay. The Netherlands haven't lost too much, it looks like. Not too much. They still, I mean, they're fine, actually. They lost 3 almost big wars, and they never really ended up losing provinces, I don't think. Let's go ahead and go back to the war tab. So right now we have Germany versus Denmark. This, again, pulling down England on their side. But you're fighting Denmark and Poland. What do you expect, man? We've got Morocco versus Portugal. I see, because they feel like they can take them now. And Persia's dominating their war against Babylon. Very smart war for Morocco to get themselves involved into. Ooh, Morocco and Songhai are now bordering each other. This is really, really smart. Because, well, first of all, Portugal's now, I think, landlocked. I'm guessing Portugal had most of its fleet destroyed. They had to have. With Spain and Venice combining their powers in the Mediterranean, I imagine that Maria's navy is no more. So now they're free. Morocco is free to move through Portuguese North African lands, and they'll probably take a lot here. I mean, this stuff was a core. This was one core, and they had claims on other things. So it is likely that they could maybe take a lot here. It's 1511, and the Portuguese are trying to rebuild as best they can. The Moroccans have some ships out this way. A few ships. It's going to take a few years for Portugal to get back that navy. Of course, I mean, whenever you lose a fleet like that, I mean, it's pretty devastating. So Morocco will more than likely peace out very soon. We've got Persia still not peacing out just yet. Let's go ahead and double check on the German war for... Is it German for Denmark? Yeah, it is. But unfortunately for Germany, Denmark has had some awesome alliances that have kept them safe. They no longer have that alliance with France. I'm guessing maybe did William force that alliance to, or maybe France didn't want to get involved in a war. That could have happened too. It could have been a force annulling of an alliance, possibly too. Who knows? There's multiple factors that could have came into play there. Yeah, so Germany again is not going to be doing so well. Danish Baltic, I love it. I love the dynamic naming of regions and stuff like that. That's going to make things really cool. Is this Greece? Yeah, okay, I'm just making sure. I didn't know if it was Greece or not. Didn't know. The longer Greece stays alive, though, the longer they'll be able to really pose a threat to Byzantium. Actually, not so much since Byzantium and Venice are allied, which is so crazy. Almost ridiculous. Byzantium and Venice. Oh, man, yeah, that's not good. That's really not good, because those two powers together could really dominate if Venice doesn't lose some of these other alliances too, which they have to. At this point, they really have to. But I think it's safe to say that these four nations will dominate Europe for now until those alliances start to break down, which of course they will. So France might not be as successful as maybe we initially thought. If France has to take on both Venice and Spain, ooh, I don't care how well developed France is, they're not going to be able to take that on. Oh, so Rome is dead. Yeah, Rome is gone. As well as, yeah, I think we all noticed that Spain had taken a few lands away from Portugal. Yeah, okay, well, oh no, they're not dead, actually. Oh, good. Rome actually has a good chance of maybe colonizing to the south as fast as they can. Don't let Carthage go to war with you, though. That will be bad, obviously. Ethiopia's still having trouble. Who is this? Is this Egypt? Yes, it is. Wow, the Egyptians actually got to India before the Zulu did. I could have swore it was going to be the Zulu. I really thought the Zulu would do it. Ooh, the Koreans, you are not going to make probably your only friend, your only possible friend, Japan, very happy by colonizing this northern island. That's not good. They're going to piss a lot of the Japanese people off. I don't know if they're going to be as friendly as they maybe we thought that they needed to be. Any more wars going on? Morocco still hasn't peaced out with Portugal. Portugal now has the Portuguese West Indies, though. Oh, that's another thing. That's right. So we will see independent nations form up because of the colonies. Assyria versus Egypt. Oh, that's a big one, actually. They didn't call the Venetians on their side, so we have to keep that in mind. So is this... these are both the colony, right? No, this is Havana. This will be something else. I believe. It might be something else. I'm not entirely sure, but... Portugal might not do as well as maybe we thought, only because they will be forming a lot of colonies, and those colonies will just be... It'll be more easy for those colonies to gain their independence. Yeah. We might start this game off with 43 nations, all of the nations that start off in Civ 5, but end it with like 60. That's kind of a lot, but maybe end it like with 50. Something crazy like that. Okay, so this is really big. The Assyrian-Egyptian war is big because Egypt's starting to really... show that they can be a strong force in the Middle East. Persia obviously has shown that strength. Egypt would be the other force as of now. Assyria needs this as the Persians grow stronger and stronger to their east. There's a bigger and bigger threat kind of forming with Persia. And Persia is going to get closer and closer to India, which is going to make things really interesting when an Indian-Persian war breaks out. I mean, these eventual borders are going to be really entertaining. All of Eastern Asia and the Indonesian region, Polynesia, all this stuff will be really entertaining late game. Right now, we're just focusing in on Europe and stuff like that, but that is because the big stuff will occur out this way. So anyways, what's going on here? The Egyptians are... Well, with the Assyrians already going after Cairo, it looks like the Assyrians have the number advantage. 25 versus a 17 stack. The Egyptians obviously have the naval advantage, but that's fine. That's not going to do much. The Assyrians are still rebuilding troops too. Let's look at forts, actually. So a few forts have been built. So boom, that is really, really cool. This is actually this probably to me, which is weird, but this is probably one of the most exciting things that I've seen so far, is that in the previous Civ 5 to EU4 battle, the forts were barely built by the AI. And now we're actually seeing quite a bit of it. I mean, there's some interesting, fortifications going on in some of these provinces. Like for instance, in Assyria, that's going to make things tough to get through Assyrian lands. Egypt kind of messed up. They only have to worry about Cairo. Once Cairo falls, boom. Egypt's going to be easy to occupy. Very, very easy. Especially since the Assyrians have the bigger number advantage here. They'll be able to dominate. They just have to drop Cairo. And then, they might have to win a battle or two against the 17th stack, but that's fine. But the Egyptians are reinforcing, it looks like. But they don't have much in Egyptian Arabia. And they're actually about to connect these two lands, so this is just going to turn into Egypt. This whole region will just turn into Egypt, I believe. I don't think I've ever seen that before. These two kind of dynamic region of a country connect with the mainland of a country. So I'm guessing it just turns into Egypt. It has to, right? So Assyria's at 5 war score. And the Moroccans are still... Wow, they're still not at peace. Oh, they just peaced out now. Oh, and Morocco grabbed they grabbed southern Portugal in Iberia. Morocco going to try to make their own landing in Iberia. That is pretty cool. I'm surprised that they did that. Brazil grabbing the Latin coast. They're moving down south and grabbing the Latin coasts. Mayans also. So there's actually a lot of coastal provinces, a lot of coastal colonization going on in the New World, which is going to make things tougher and tougher for someone like France and Spain and England to get over this way. We'll probably start to. I'm thinking we're going to start to see England colonize, depending on, unless England wants to just focus on northern Scandinavia. Poland's starting to look like traditional Poland. The Huns, the longer they stay alive, the less they have to worry. Who are the Huns allied to? That's what we really should be looking into, alliances. Russia's got no alliances. Sweden and England and the Netherlands. Wow, that's a pretty good one. China's got no friends. There's probably nothing in terms of alliances going on over here. Persia's got no friends. So even though Persia might end up really dominating the Middle East, they have no friends. Also, is Persia Shia? Yes. So that means that they're going to have to do a lot of converting, which is going to slow them down. It might cause for more rebel uprisings. That will be, even though Persia might have success, oh, bam. So never mind. I don't think we're going to be able to see what happens when a colonial region attaches to the main part of an empire and it just turns into Egypt. Something like that. I think you guys know what I'm trying to say. Wow. Okay, so Assyria took a lot there. Did they take Cairo? No, they didn't. That was nice of them. I don't think they could have. That was probably too well developed. Yeah, 57 development there. Or, yeah. 57 development? No. Why did I say 55? I'm sorry. This is administrative. This is the cost. I apologize. 5 development. Yeah, look at that. Assyria desperately needed this. Luckily for the Assyrians, they have the Venetians on their side, so I don't believe Persia is going to want to get themselves involved with the Assyrians. But the other way around might happen, but I don't think Venice would want... There's no way. If the Assyrians call the Venetians in for an offensive war against Persia, I guarantee you the AI is going to be, that's a distant war. They're not going to want to. Not right now. Later on, yes, but not now. Definitely not now. Bam, there you go. The Zulu have grabbed a few, some wasteland. Like I said, this will be mostly actually Zulu territory, but it'll be, the Zulu, a lot of it will be wasteland. But the Zulu will actually look really, really powerful. That's pretty funny. Any wars going on? Assyria now at war with Babylon. Bam, they're not going slow at all. They're going to just keep on going through it. And Arabia now after Egypt. I did notice that, it looks like Assyria forced Egypt to give up maybe a few Arabian cores. Actually, this could be a really good time for Arabia. They could grab all their cores back. Maybe not all their cores back, but quite a bit. But they got to move in now. Yeah, they have to move in now. Assyria is also... Oh, it's Babylon and the Ottomans. I apologize. But the Persians have been the ones to push around Babylon. Man. So Assyria is getting really aggressive, which is kind of what they needed with this dominant Persia to their east. But anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.